Hey everyone. How's it going? So today I wanted to go over some quick thoughts, life lesson in Monopoly. So the other day I was playing Monopoly with my son, and we had the board here. He had some money over here, some properties, and I had the same thing. Some properties. And our little pieces were here and here or whatever. We had all the something like that. So we were playing and whatnot, and he looks over and he sees that I have a bunch more cash than he does currently. So he made me an offer, and he said, I'll give you all my properties except Park Place and Boardwalk, because he had those two and he had hotels. So he had his little hotels on Park Place and Boardwalk. He said, I'll give you all my properties, and he had about almost half of them for my cash. So, well, I accepted, okay. I knew it was going to happen, but I wanted him to learn, so made the deal. He had no properties, but he ended up with a bunch more cash at the moment, and I ended up with much more properties. All the properties except for Park Place and Boardwalk. He's really excited, lots of cash. All he saw was the cash. And then he had hotels on here, so if I landed on that, I would have to owe him a lot of money. But what he didn't realize is that he just got rid of all of his assets except for these two. He went from having, let's call it, 15 assets to 2. But he had more cash. I, on the other hand, went from no cash to, call it, 25 assets. So even though I didn't have any cash at the moment, I had all these assets that generated income. And for him, he just had 2 assets. He had a whole bunch of liabilities, but only 2 assets. So we're playing. And he gets to here and here and here. And little bit by little bit, his cash disappears. He still had these 2 assets, but they weren't making him very much money because I didn't land on very much. But he landed on all my properties almost every single move. So little by little, all his cash disappeared, while at the same time, mine came back and a whole lot more. And we've been recently talking about assets and liabilities. You know, he's only 7, so he's still learning it, of course. We've only been talking about it, and I wanted him to learn that even though you might have a bunch of cash, if you don't utilize it, if you don't use it properly, it's gonna disappear. You know, you can have $1 million, but if it's just sitting in the bank not doing anything, it's essentially no good. You know, it might buy you a couple rounds around, turns around the board, but then your cash is going to dwindle away. But if you invest it properly, you know, assets, things that bring money into your bank account, you know, that could be real estate, that could be knowledge, that could be mentorship, that could be tools for your business, whatever that business may be. If you're a carpenter, your asset could be a new saw because it helps you do a better job, make cleaner cuts, be more efficient. Whatever the case is, if you're not using that money and investing it properly, then pretty soon it's gonna disappear. So I just wanted to share that, bring some thoughts. It was a good lesson for both of us, something to even remind myself. You know, you can have all this cash, but you gotta use it wisely, because cash could be good, but what you really want, let me get another color here. You want positive cash flow. If this is just sitting in your bank, it's not really doing anything. But if you have assets and it's constantly adding more money to your bank account, positive cash flow, that's what you really want. That's what you need. So yes, he had 2 assets, and yes, they were the most expensive, they would bring in the most money in one shot. But because I didn't land on them very often, they ended up not bringing in any money at all. Whereas the other side, you know, I had all these assets, maybe took all 4 of these to equal one of these, but I had 4 times the chances of him landing on it. 4 times the opportunity. You know, 4 times the potential. You know, let's say this is 100 and this one's 100. That's how much it brings in just for money's sake. You know, even if this is 25, I've got more chances of him hitting these 25s because they're spread all over. I got a more diverse portfolio. Or bigger portfolio. Not diverse at the beginning, but bigger portfolio. Then chances of him landing on mine are a lot higher. Anyways, hope this video finds you well. Love to read your comments, and we'll see you on the next one.